Welcome to the Father Knowts podcast, and I am your host, Warren W. Patten Jr., or you can call me Father Patten. Father Knowts is an informational style podcast created to give fathers a voice in their family structure. I encourage fathers to take back fatherhood and shake the trees of tradition to create a stronger family unit. We'll also delve into men's health, leadership, mentorship, and so much more. Okay, men, it's time to be a better father on purpose. Come on in. Come on in to the Father Knowts podcast. And I am your host, Father Patten. Welcome, welcome, welcome once again. And this is episode 9, part 2. Episode 9, part 2. Hey, we're still focusing this month on men's physical and mental health because June is Men's Health Awareness Month. And we're still in June. So here we go. I'm always excited, but I am elated to talk to you about your mental health and how you can really create the atmosphere, the environment, the know-it-all when it comes to your mental health. You are in charge of your mental health. Sometimes we let others dictate our mental health. I'm gonna have to say that again. Sometimes we let others dictate our mental health. You can't give others the power. You keep the power for your mental health. And that's what this episode is about from my perspective, of course, and from my book called Father Knowts, Being a Better Father on Purpose. It's also back there behind me too, yes. The only way you can get a copy now is to go to my website, warrenwpattenjr.com, and you can order straight from the website. Yes, you can. I'd appreciate it. I have a few copies left because I'm going to revise it and maybe, publish it again as an extended version since I'm doing the podcast, and it helps to enhance the overall trajectory of Father Knowts. All right. Hey, but let me recap episode 8 and the physical health that we talked about there. 3 things I just want to share with you that I highlighted on, and these are the recommendations from that podcast, episode 8. Exercise, activity. You got to do that for your physical health. Even at my age, I'm still trying to do as much as I can. No shame in my game. I can't do all the things I used to. I can't shoot 3-pointers. I can't do an awesome finger roll like I used to back in the day. But I still can do a lot of things that I want to do, and I make sure that I put my best effort into it. Any kind of activities that I do, I make sure I pay attention to my body and listen to my body. If it's too much, it's too much. Like right now, it's been up in the hundreds here in Memphis. I said I was going to go out there and do 30 minutes. I did 30 minutes, and I drink more water as well. The next thing, fathers need to make doctor's visits a priority. For yourself, number one, for yourself, doctor's visits are crucial. You have to go. Remember, I told you I had a map of the human body and everything that happened to me. And I write down everything that happens to me. When I got a shoulder looked at, they let me know I had arthritis, bursitis, everything in that shoulder. I had both kneecaps broken over the years. I have that written down. Sprained ankles. Yes. Tennis elbow. I write down everything. I'm not going to give you the down and dirty things when I had my colonoscopy and how many polyps I had. I'm not going to tell you that. But that's written down. Also, make sure, Father, you go to your children's doctor's appointments as much as possible. Don't get into the habit of letting the mother of the children, your wife, hopefully, The mother of your children always being present at all doctor's visits. And then she has to come back and tell you what the doctor said and what needs to be done. You need to make it your business to get to that doctor's visit. And then the last thing, record your family's health history. I also recommended that you ask your parents what were some of the ailments that they had growing up and what do they have right now. Then ask them about their parents, their mother and father. What did they have? Because it is crucial. And we don't understand how things work in the DNA and in the family tree. But I will be one. I'm a witness. I have hypothyroidism, and I didn't get it from my mother or my father. I got it from my grandmother. A generation, 2 generations away. And if I did not ask my parents about that, I wouldn't have never known. Same thing about twins. We have a set of twins, and I didn't know there were twins in my family until I asked my father. He said, "Oh yeah, my dad has twin brothers." Hello, would have been nice to know, but it would have been nice if I had asked ahead of time. So those are my recommendations for episode 8 and physical health. Episode 9. Let's talk about mental health and my perspective when it comes to mental health for fathers and their families now, not just with their children, but with their families and a father's role. And I got to make sure that I say this slowly so you can get it. I'm going to bring it up on the screen as well. A father's role, first of all, is leadership and presence. Leadership and presence. Next, a father's role is protection and safety. You know I'm going to dive into all of this. And the next one is guidance and compassion. Yes, guidance and compassion. And with all three of those, enter in nurturing. You know, fathers do know how to nurture. They do know how to nurture. They need to be given the opportunity. And you got to let it be known with the mother, with your wife, you can nurture too. Don't let her be the judge on whether you can or cannot. You show up and do your fair share of nurturing. It's not going to be just like the mother. We're not built that way. We're not designed to do it like the mother. We do it like fathers. And if you need examples, talk to some fellow men who do a great job with their children. Ask them, what do you do? I'm a hugger. I'm gonna let you know right off the bat. I'm a hugger. Always have been. So my sons are they're like uncomfortable with me. Used to be. They're not anymore because I am a hugger and I wanted to have that closeness with them. So let's unpack all three of these. Let's unpack all three of these as we go. It's not going to take long, but I'm going to give you my perspective on each one. Let's start with leadership and presence. Now, of course, presence is key. You can't be a leader if you're not present. Now, I know a lot of men say, but I got to work. I got to get this money made so we can pay the bills and everything. I know. But you also have to be present. You got to find that balance to where you can work hard, make the money, and then you have to be present for as much as you can with your children. They will not understand the fact that you work too hard. Take it from me. I'm a workaholic. But I also wanted to be a fatheraholic. That's not even a word. But I worked hard on going to work and making that money, but I also worked hard on being a father. I don't need to go back and tell you my story growing up, but that was my purpose from years ago, from just a little boy. But I wanted to be present. I wanted to make sure that they knew who the leader was in the family. Let's get to the leadership part. Now, this is where I think you can create a strong family unit through leadership and through presence is at the kitchen table. Yes. The kitchen table. I love to cook. You may not love to cook, but you can learn. My wife can cook. We used to share the duties. I would start something a day or two early, prep it, cook it, put it in the refrigerator, and have it ready for the next 2 days if I had to. That let my wife know, the mother of the children know, I'm on this team. And my children knew father made that food, made dinner. He made it for us. How did he get it ready? He's not here. Yes, they know I'm here. But at the kitchen table is where so many great things happen while bringing the family together. This is the time where you give your family a voice, especially your children and especially your sons. They need a voice. So that's when you ask questions and you shut up and let them talk. My wife is a lifelong educator. I'm an educator as well, but I only taught school for about 3 years. But I've been in training forever. So we had to really think about how we correct our sons on everything. Do we let them talk? Do we allow them to express themselves? But we talked about it, and I let her know at this time at the table, we can't be teachers. We have to be mother and father. We got to put the teacher hat down, and we have to be mothers and fathers. And if they haven't learned how to use the English language just yet, we got to give their teachers a chance to teach them. But at home, we do some teaching. But at the kitchen table, that's a time for relaxation, getting to know each other, talking. Now, of course, early on, my sons didn't have cell phones. There was no cell phones to have. But after the last three, cell phones did appear, but there were no cell phones at our kitchen table. Oh no. Kitchen table time was time for, really getting to know each other, bonding. That's where you have that strong family bond. Now, I know you've heard some terms at the kitchen table, maybe in your family. I don't know. Maybe you've heard some terms like children should speak when spoken to. Mm. Don't talk when grown folks are talking. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. That one right there, that got next to me right there. A kid should stay in a kid's place. Oh my goodness. I remember those terms, but I tried to make sure with my wife, the mother of my children, we didn't use those terms at the kitchen table. The kitchen table was a time for all of us. There was no such thing as casting them out. If me and my wife want to have grown up talk, it was when they weren't around. Mm, 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 mm. When we want to have grown up talk, it's when the children were not around. But when the children are around, we talk about anything and everything that's appropriate, of course, but they were included in all conversations. And there were times we had to navigate that. We had to let them know, oh no, it's none of your business, but let's continue to talk about it. Okay. That's just how you navigate that kitchen table. Giving your family a voice, especially your sons. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the next one. Let's talk about protection and safety. Oh, yes, that's a father's role, and that's crucial for a family. Oh, my goodness. It involves families' physical and emotional health, because when it comes to protection and safety, it affects their physical being and their emotional being. When they're young kids and it's thundering outside, lightning and everything, that's when you really get to bond with them. Let them know it's going to be safe. I've got you. You are protected. You are at home. We have prepared for this. Any storms, tornadoes that come through, you have to be the one to say, this is what we're going to do. And you got to prepare them ahead of time, depending on where you live. Depending on where you live. It's crucial. Also, this is the time where you handle disagreements. Oh, yeah, protection. I have all sons. So there were times when we had not many fights, but some disagreements. Probably a couple of fights here and there. But this is where you talk to them about how to manage their emotions. And sometimes with the mother, the emotions can be very high. Hey, I didn't create the woman. I did not. But with the father, that's how you bring balance. To come back to that, but that's how you create the balance for your children, especially for your sons. They need to see emotions in both ways in order to be able to navigate their relationships when they get to be of age and they make their choices. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Everything the father does contributes to the family's overall well being when it comes to protection and safety. When you're building a swing set or something out in the backyard, your sons or your family joins in. You are right then and there. You're talking about protection and safety. Is everything done right? Did you build it correctly? Are they supporting you? Did you use the right tools? Is the swing set safe? Is it secure? They need to be involved in that and understand. When you're doing anything with your car, if you are washing your car, changing the oil, any kind of work you're doing on a car, cleaning your car, that's when they are watching you take care of your car, and that's protection and safety. Working in the yard, same thing. If your yard looks good, they understand why it looks good. Any repairs that you do on the house, they need to be involved. You know that toilet is going to break at any time. That flapper, that string, the handle, you they have to be aware of why you do what you do. And then it's going to be their turn to repair it. I've got I have 5 sons, but 3 of them have their own homes. And I'm going to tell you, they they do everything themselves. It's amazing. They don't call anyone. They fix everything themselves. I wish I could give myself a pat on the back. They know how to do it all. It is amazing. So anything that a father does around the house, make sure you involve your children. I'm talking daughters too. Involve them in everything that you do. That translates to protection and safety. And that bond that you're creating translates into their relationships with others. And as they get into those adolescent years, they trust you because they know you have their back. There may be some slip ups here and there, but for the most part, they're going to know that you are there for them because you spend time with them. That also goes back to presence. Hey, let's keep moving. Now we're going to move on to guidance. Oh my goodness, I love this one. Guidance and compassion. And don't forget, this is where nurturing gets involved in all of this. So guidance brings in that love and discipline. That compassion really makes them understand why you did what you did, why there is punishment, why there are consequences, why that when you do something right, you get rewarded. Not all the time, but sometimes you get rewarded for that. But it's really different from my perspective when you're trying to deliver on guidance and compassion. Now, remember in one of my past episodes, I talked about creating boundaries in your family. Oh, yeah, you got to have those boundaries because that's where you can create that guidance. So when it comes down to it, I think you should have some one-on-one conversations with each one of your children, separate from the others. They deserve their time, especially at their particular age. You can't have one discussion with all of the children when you're really trying to address a 15-year-old and the rest of them are listening. Oh, no. You got to be ready to have several conversations about each one in a one-on-one. Now, there are times for family meetings. Oh, yeah, I like those. Sometimes we have to call a family meeting when things are getting a little bit out of control. They're not following the rules. You need to give them a reminder. Family meeting. Need everybody upstairs in 2 minutes flat. Have a seat. No talking. It's simple. And bring the energy back together. That's what a family meeting is for. The one-on-ones come as they grow with their age. The family meetings can happen at any time. So keep that in mind. Every time you have those one-on-ones and family meetings, make sure you tap in to those teachable moments. Everything does not have to be discipline. Sometimes it's just a teachable moment. They need a quick reminder, quick reinforcement. Remember the boundaries. You're not to allow anyone in this house when me and your mother are not here. They're still going to try, but you got to be present even when you're not here. Got to be present even when you're not here. You got to be in their mind. Hey man, can I come in? Man, you can't come in here. My father's standing right outside. I bet you he is. And I might be. Also, another thing, when you have those meetings with your family, you have to establish those boundaries with other families, your neighbors, the friends that are in the neighborhood, because you may not know the parents of that friend. You have to make it your business to get to know the parent. Try not to just let them go anywhere over anyone's house and you haven't introduced yourself to their parents. It is so critical that you make that connection. Some parents don't like to do that. I'm not sure if I like to do it, but I knew one thing. I did not want that parent to have my child in their house and they not know who I was. That's it. So it doesn't matter what I like and what I don't like. I know what needs to be happening. So I'm just letting you know, sometimes you have to step outside of yourself, get out of your own way, and do what's right for the family. When it comes to protection and safety, guidance, and compassion. Oh, yeah. And also, when you have those reunions, family gatherings, you and your wife or the mother of the children have to talk about the family members. Who are you going to allow in your home? After getting to know each other, there were some people in the family who were not invited to come visit unless they follow my rules. I know you're looking at me crazy. I don't care. This is my home. When you come here, this is what I expect. Or don't come. That's my family. Very good. Thank you, Captain Obvious, for letting me know. But if that family member disrespects this home, they got to go. And of course, they didn't drive. They rode with the person who came. They still got to go. Get them a hotel, do something. But you have to set those boundaries ahead of time. Don't wait till they get here and they act a fool and then you get mad. Don't do that. You should have been listening when your wife or the mother told you about her crazy family. And the same thing for mine. This is just one example. Early on, when our children were very young, my father still smoked. This is before he stopped smoking. Before he stopped smoking. He still smoked, not very much. But when he came over to visit and we'd eat and everything, but I let him know, we don't have any ashtrays. You cannot smoke at my house. So if you have to come and eat and then I got to take you home, no problem. He said, no, Warren, I understand. I am not going to smoke in your home. Thank you. So there were a couple of times he was having a good time. We were hanging around for a long time. So I took him outside all the way to the back of the backyard. I said, Father, you can have one cigarette. I'm telling a grown man that he can have one cigarette. I'm giving him permission to smoke in the backyard. I also have to be fair. I know he's a smoker. I know he doesn't smoke that much. But I just thought this was an opportunity for me to meet him halfway. He respected my home. And on the inside, he did not smoke. So when we got all the way to the back, I let him smoke. And I explained to my family what I did. No secrets. I explained it. That's just one way of bonding with my father and also letting my family know the boundaries are still there. But I'm making an exception for him all the way in the backyard. That's what you can do. But if you got family members who heavy drinkers and they want to sit around and drink more, no, there was no drinking in my home. Remember, Father Patten, no drinking, no smoking in the home. No, don't get drunk and then come to my home. Same thing. Get out. I'm telling you, don't get drunk and then come here. That's not going to happen. I have my sons here, my wife here. Do not disrespect my home. Be mad all you want to. You shouldn't have came. You could have stayed at home and got drunk. Don't come here and act a fool. We have to be better as fathers to control the environment. Now, if you're a smoker and a drinker and you invite people who come over and smoke and drink, that's okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying for someone like myself who wanted to be the example of what I say, if I'm a non-smoker, non-drinker, my wife, non-smoker, non-drinker, I want to set the example for my family and my sons. That means no one can come here and do that. All right, I'm going to get off my high horse now because it ain't that high. So make sure you have those teachable moments. Those family meetings are clear. Those one-on-ones are age appropriate. Oh, yeah, to really help you out. Now I'm going to make a big switch. I didn't mention this before, but this is going to be important. Now, this is where I talk about seeds. 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 This is from the book, Father Knowts, Being a Better Father on Purpose. I have to put that in there, of course, you know. And it's on page 20. And I'm going to read from that. Let me put this up. I want to present this on the screen because I think it's crucial that you actually see it and read along with me, of course. I love it. There it is. And on page 20 in Father Knowts, I break it down like this because I think we as fathers or parents, we are planting seeds into this world. And just like the analogy of growing your garden or planting seeds for trees in your family tree, this is why I got this idea. Okay. And I put it in the book just like this. In your garden, you choose what seeds to plant. We chose 5 children. The Lord said there are 5 sons because we did want a daughter. So we have 5 sons. Those are our seeds. With your impressive green thumb, if you know about gardening, you can you manage the weeds because there are weeds growing everywhere. No one's planting them. Weeds are always growing. So you got to make sure that you control the weeds and grow your flowers or your trees in your family tree. And when you control the weeds, that goes back to what I said about leadership and presence, protection and safety, guidance and compassion. You got to keep those weeds out of your garden and soon to be yard. So let's break it down, and you can see it on the screen as well. The first S is for soil. So is your soil rich with nutrients? And I give the analogy of food and fuel. Are you feeding your family? Can your family eat from your garden? That garden might be you cooking, going to the store, going to fast food, going out to eat on occasion? Or is your family healthy with the nourishment that they need? Your soil has to be good as a father. Okay, the next one is E. That's the earth. Have you found the right spot? Do you have the right home for your family? Father, that's your role. It would be nice if you created the home that your family would be in. Yes, I'm talking about you, not the mother. You create the home. Now, once the mother gets there, she's going to decorate it, no doubt. She's going to do all of the decoration. But you create the home. That's your earth. That's where everything revolves, in the home. That's why I put the earth there. That's your world. That's your world. That's your castle. Whatever you want to use. But to me, it's my world. And I picked this home for this family. I picked out the bed, made sure it had the right number of bedrooms, had a large master bedroom, everything. I picked the home. I brought my wife over and I said, hey, take a look at your new home. She's like, but I already knew all that meant. Nice. The next E, edible. Can you feed others from your garden? That's when it comes to health. Edible. Are you feeding others? Like right now, I'm caregiving for my father and my mother, and they're both in their 80s. My father just turned 89. I can help him. I can feed him. Not just feed, I can do things for him. I can assist him. I can take him places. My mother is 84, soon to be 85. It's wonderful. But not just that. Early on with my wife and me, before we had children, we used to help some family members. Oh, yes. We let a sister, brother, cousin come in and stay for a certain amount of time to get back on their feet, save some money. Then we let them go out and be adults. Couldn't stay here because when they first got here, I said, you have 6 months. And I gave them the date that they have to be gone. Now we helped them, but on that date, they were gone. It's just that simple. But they knew this was the arrangement. So, can you feed others from your garden? That's what it's all about. We were able to do it. That's why we were helping different people in the family. Now, for the D, sometimes it's going to be a drought. Oh, you got to be prepared for that. Can your garden survive the storms? I already talked about that a minute ago. Can you survive the storms? We've gone through so many things, and we're in Memphis. So we had Ice Storm 94. Oh my. Lost power for I don't know how long. Was I able to protect my family? Was I able to be the leader when it came down to getting things done? That's what it's about. If it gets too hot and the power goes out, are you prepared? Is your family going in chaos, or are they like, Father's got it? I'm telling you, it's a different mindset when it comes to mental health when they know that the Father has it all under control, no matter what. It's a different state of mind. And not only that, not for your children, also for the mother. My man got it going on. He's got it all figured out. That's the way it should be. That's mental health. I'm telling you, don't have to worry. Now, if you choose to worry, calm down. I got this. And I do mean there are other situations. This is the big one here. What happened during the pandemic? Were you prepared? Were you prepared to protect your family? Were you the leader? Was it safe? Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. My little pandemic story. I was up in St. Louis in March of 2020. And I was, on my phone, I was checking the news because I'd already heard about it. We was teaching a class. And I was going to be going home the next day before they shut everything down. And I'm going to tell you, this is what I did because I am the father in my family. I called my wife and I said, it might take me a little while to get there. Had a 4.5 hour drive from St. Louis, turned into almost a 9 hour drive because I got my credit card and I stopped at every Walmart, Kroger, and Sam's that I could get to. And I already had McDonald's equipment in my car. But whatever space was left, I bought toilet paper, paper towels. Oh my goodness, the list goes on. That's what I bought the most of, toilet paper and paper towels. Got that from Sam's and from Walmart. Then as I got closer to closer to home, I think I was in Cape Girardeau. I stopped at a Walmart there and I bought an igloo and some ice. And I bought some steaks, ground beef, some pork, not too much, but some pork. I bought, I don't know how much meat. I spent a lot of money, but I did not care because I didn't know what was going to happen with the pandemic. But I had my mental health together to where I'm not going to worry about it because I got this. I bought so much food, bought some canned goods, although we had some canned goods, but I bought some more canned goods. I bought some frozen vegetables. This is what I did all the way down from St. Louis all the way down to Memphis. I stopped in West Memphis. Before I got here, went to another Walmart in West Memphis. I had a little space up front, and I bought some more tissue, some more paper towels, some wipes, some masks. That was the other thing. Yes, I bought masks everywhere I went. This is what I'm talking about, mental health. And when I got home later on that night, I told my wife, I got everything. She said, "What you mean you got?" I got everything. And my sons were like, what? I said, "Come help me. We got to bring all this in." Did they understand? No, they didn't understand. But about 2 or 3 weeks later, maybe a month, when they shut everything down, they were like, "Ooh, we see now." I had that freezer was packed, both freezers. We had a my garage filled with toilet paper and paper towels. We had masks. I bought gloves, everything. Now, my wife had already gone to Walgreens and she was getting some safety things like medicine, band-aids, things like that to kind of stock us up. Oh yeah, it's amazing. I didn't know she was doing that, but she knew what I was doing, so she did her part. She went to Walgreens and got all of the necessities that we needed. See, that's when it comes down to leadership presence, protection and safety, guidance and compassion, and a man's mental health. You have to be the leader of that. That's how you keep yourself calm and you keep the riffraff out. Let me get back to my book though. I just want to tell a story about a drought because that was a big time drought for everybody, not just for you and your city, but for everyone. You had to be on your game. And we did not get sick. Thank you, Lord. We did not get sick because we had Lysol. That's right. I bought Lysol from Sam's. Clorox wipes. That was a part of the list. Clorox wipes and oh my goodness, Lysol spray. So I'm telling you, your mental health can be so much better if you just take the leadership role. Ooh-wee. The last S is for sun. I love the sun. Oh yeah. Do you provide energy to succeed? And that's when it comes to that security and the energy that your family feels like they are safe. They are protected. They feel good about being in the home on this earth, in my world. I've made it to where they can feel comfortable. That's just my way and my perspective of looking at my mental health. I'm taking care of my family and I'm letting them know why I do what I do, when I do it, and I'm trying to do it the right way. I'm also trying to make sure my wife, the mother of my children, knows I'm the leader of this family. No disrespect now, but we can't have two leaders doing the same thing. She does her thing, I do my thing. And then we come together. We make such a great team. It's just amazing. And sometimes we don't even talk about it. We just know exactly what to do. But that is a part of mental health. And I think sometimes we don't hear enough about a father who is doing what they can in the family. We don't we don't we don't hear about fathers taking charge. We hear about mothers and mothers raised me by myself. My mother, that's great. I'm not bashing that. That's a part of our world. But also a part of our world is fathers stepping up, leading the family, doing what he thinks is right, creating boundaries, keeping out the riffraff, keeping the drama at a minimum. It's coming now. The drama comes, but you got to make sure you let it be known you are not welcome in this home. Whatever drama happens in here is created by me and my wife. And we just have our one-on-ones together, and that's it. We don't have no knockdown drag out in front of our children. That does never happens. I just don't imagine. I see it online a lot. I don't understand why, but balance. Somewhere along the line, they did not have balance growing up. Didn't have a father figure, overbearing mother figure, maybe overbearing father figure. I don't know. But I wanted to make sure my sons were well rounded, be able to handle conflict, manage conflict, resolve that conflict with the person that they choose to live their life with. Is it as easy as what I say? Oh, no. Oh, no. This takes work. So this takes work to be mentally stable. It takes work, not just on your part, but on your partner's part as well. And sometimes they're not willing. You got to work a little bit harder or get rid of the weeds. So when you create that balance, that's what it's all about. You really help your family grow together, bond, and their mental health is so much better. And that's what I'm so proud of my sons. Their mental health is so much better. Now they're having some struggles, yes, because they've entered into a relationship with another person and they're still trying to figure each other out. But you know, my sons call me. They call, Father, I just need you to talk to me. I can do that and get them to understand some things they can't control, but you can control your own mental health. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month, fathers, all men, but fathers, this is your month. You'll be seeing a few more things that I put out there. I've been putting out my little shorts when it comes to that. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm so excited about this podcast. I hope it finds its niche. I hope it finds an audience. I hope it finds some fathers to really pay attention and listen and be willing to share, because I'm hoping this podcast will turn into an interview style podcast where I can bring in some fathers and we can have some great conversation. One of these days, I'm going to go live on you all. I'm getting ready. I'm not ashamed. I'm getting ready, but I want to be prepared. When I go live, it's going to be all the way live. You know, I got to sing for you every now and then when I get a chance. Well, I appreciate you joining. This is episode 9. Episode 9 of Father's Health and Legacy, Part 2, Mental Health. I appreciate you joining. Hey, make the choice to use your voice. And Father Patten, I got to run. Take care. Thanks for joining the Father Knowts podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at 1W Patten Jr. That's Patten Jr. Follow our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Father, make the choice to use your voice.